T-Squad, join me as I dive into Kelli Ferrell's unexpected Brit Edie weapons bombshell. Can I uncover the real story behind it? I mean, Kelli has been making waves recently with her shocking revelation about Brit, and it's got everyone from fans to critics, including me, talking.
Hey, word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor want a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. When nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake.
Kelli's announcement has sparked a lot of controversy and surprise amongst her audience and the public, with many people weighing in on social media and other online platforms. The implication of her statements are far-reaching, and it's clear that she's not afraid to speak her mind and challenge the status quo. Her willingness to take a stand on this issue with Brit and Kenya has earned her both praise and criticism, with some people hailing her as a hero and others condemning her as reckless. Kelli's reputation as a straight shooter has been cemented by this move, and it's likely that her space on The Real Housewives of Atlanta will be impacted in some way by this revelation. The fact that she's chosen to speak out about the Brit Edie weapon situation has also raised questions about her motives and what she hopes to achieve by doing so. Now, T-Squad, ever since this situation with Brit Edie and Kenya Moore went down on this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we got to watch the episode, we have gotten several different stories come from Kelli Ferrell's mouth. During filming, when she filmed with Kenya and Portia at Kenya's salon and the subject came up, this is what she said originally.
She honestly did. And Brit was standing not too far, and that's when you heard what you heard. For me, when it comes to what happened at the table, that's something that can be walked back. But on the part of you mentioning that has to be broken all the way down. We have to find out exactly what was said.
I know what I heard.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
You guys clearly heard her say originally that she didn't even hear Brit say that she had a pow-pow on her that night. Then when the season started airing on television, when asked about the situation again, this is what she had to say in a recent interview.
And Angela both had pivotal moments on the show. She had the dinner at the bank, obviously, where all that went down with Kenya and Brit. And one of the questions people had was, how could you not hear Brit make that comment about the pistol? I think a lot of people were like, but you were right there, Kelli. Are you sure you didn't hear it? And you did not hear her say that.
So this is the deal.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom. Okay. I was in the bathroom getting demiked with them sheer Mugler pants on, trying to use the bathroom. And it was a lot of commotion going down when I was in the hallway.
Okay.
When I came back out, I was then remiked, and it was still commotion going on.
Okay.
When she made that comment, I did not assume she was speaking to Kenya or about Kenya. I assumed she was saying that because we were in Bankhead.
Yeah.
Everybody had already made this whole thing about, oh my God, from Buckhead to Bankhead. How are we going to Bankhead to the bank, right? So of course, I bring my security with me everywhere I go, Big Kenny, for my safety and for the safety of others who are around me. So that's why when she said something about a pistol, I'm like, for what? Girl, we got Kenny here, and your husband should be pulling up to come and get you, because she didn't ride with me. Her husband picked her up and dropped her off, right? So that's why it didn't click to me that she was talking about pistol for Kenya at that time. No, that's why I was like, no, not a pistol, like to harm her. I'm assuming like for safety because we were in Bankhead. That's why I was like, no, Kenny, you don't need that.
Right.
I would never agree to dealing with the things I have dealt with in my past. I would never agree to a firearm and someone like hurting someone in that manner.
For me, that explanation makes more sense than what she said during filming, that she didn't hear it at all. Because I'm like, girl, it was obvious that you heard her say it, because you responded to what she said by saying, we have Kenny here, you don't need that. So this version sounds way more believable that you thought that she was just referring to having a pow pow on her because of where y'all was at. But you just blatantly saying you didn't hear anything originally was a crock of BS. And remember, I had also questioned on one of my reviews, like, how could you be sitting up here trying to protect or side with someone that was threatening using a firearm or violence against somebody else when you yourself had been in a shmusive situation? So this makes way more sense for me. I want to remind you guys that after the incident happened between Brit and Kenya, where she threatened to use a pow pow on her, Brit put this statement up on her Instagram story. She wrote, "It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. I've never even been to jail in a fight or even had as much as a speeding ticket. That's not in my character. I am hurt by the narrative that's being displayed. Wrong is wrong." That has been proven to be a lie as well. Shout out to Giorgio Says, who brought to everyone's attention this video that Brit had on her Instagram page prior to the filming of season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, where she in fact admitted that she does not leave her house without a firearm. Let's take a look.
Every time, and I keep my pistol with me always.
Security that's at the gas station?
I only go to gas stations that have security there. I only go to the same gas stations if I'm in the city.
Once more, we have caught this chick in a lie. She lied about ever owning a pow pow when she stated in a previous interview that she never leaves home without it. And when Kenya did her more confessionals over the weekend on her YouTube channel, she stated that production didn't do an investigation until 3 weeks after the event. So how would they know 3 weeks later whether or not she had the pow pow on her that night if they didn't check her purse or her car or anything? So till this day, they don't have solid proof to say whether or not she had a pow pow on her or not. But apparently it's obvious that she did. Once this video surfaced, I guess Kelly said ain't no point in me lying for the chick no more and trying to cover for her because the truth just keeps on coming out. So in a recent video that was published last week, Kelly finally admitted to seeing Brit with a weapon before.
You know her to be someone who would carry a weapon or a whip or anything like that.
The wine's right there.
You guys, have I seen a weapon in her possession before? Yes.
Clock it here.
But I can't tell you that was towards someone. I mean, we're in Georgia. I carry a weapon. I am licensed to carry. I carry a weapon with me for my safety, for my children. I own a business. You know, you have to protect yourselves at all costs.
But you're being honest about it.
I have to get home. Yeah, I have to get home to my daughters.
She's saying that she isn't carrying a weapon and she doesn't own a weapon.
Let me just say this. I stand in my truth in regards to what I support and what I don't. I don't support gun violence. Okay. I don't support anything pertaining to harm of a woman or an individual, especially going through the things that I've been through in my life.
We can tell how genuine you are. I think that's why the audience were so responsive to you, is because you do give us very genuine responses.
How long did you know Brit before the season?
Ooh,
before the show.
So I've known Brit probably for at least like close to a year prior to the show. I didn't know Brit prior to some of her other past.
Right.
So now we have Kelly confirming that Brit does have a firearm. So she lied about not even owning one. She has seen her with it. And then she confirmed what I've been telling you guys as well, that these two didn't even know each other that long before filming. She hadn't even known her a full year before filming. So the fact that she was going so hard for somebody that she literally barely knew, let's be honest, let's be real, you barely knew her, and you were going so hard saying, oh, I've never seen her act like that. She's not that person. You don't know what kind of person that she is. You didn't realize what kind of person that she is until she turned on you, allegedly, from what we're supposed to see this season. So she made a fool out of you too. Ain't no way I'm about to be saying what I just know for a fact a person will and will not do that I haven't even known a full year. Like, make it make sense. I would have rather just not say nothing and stayed out of it. I cannot wait to see how this is going to go down at the reunion when this conversation comes up with Brit, because you lied at first and said you didn't even own a firearm and that you didn't have possession of one that night. We have debunked that is a lie via your own mouth and via a person that was your friend at the time. So this whole segment is going to make Bravo look like complete idiots at this reunion. Like, there's no way to finagle it. It's really no way to finagle it. I know Kenya said in her confessionals video on her YouTube channel that she was asked to come to the reunion and then they descended the offer. At this point, y'all might as well let her come, because with her there or without her there, y'all still look like idiots. Y'all still drop the ball on this. And I blame Brit for kicking it off, and I blame Bravo, NBC Universal, and whoever is the production company for not doing their due diligence and correcting this issue when it arose, because you wouldn't have gotten the aftermath if y'all would have did what y'all were contractually obligated to do in the first place. Then Kenya wouldn't have done what she did. Let's face it, production, Bravo, Andy, the other executive producers, NBC Universal did not take this threat seriously, because it was a black woman that came to y'all with grievances. Like I said, like Kenya said, if this was a white housewife on one of the white housewife franchises, this situation would have been nipped in the bud right then and there. Whether one of the white girls went to HR production or whatever with the grievance, they probably wouldn't even had to get that far. As soon as production would have heard that one of the white girls was being threatened with a pow pow, that person would have been fired. But once again, black women are the most disrespected, the least protected, the least supported. We're always not believed when we cry for help. We're often dismissed from our own people, from our own men, and especially from white counterparts. And that's the basis of this. That is the basis of this whole situation, that Kenya, because she is a black woman, was not taken seriously. And you've even heard Andy say on his radio show, you know, she was just throwing something out there. I don't think she was being serious, like downplaying it. Let somebody say that to you in your workplace. Let's see how you would react. Would you just think that, oh, they were just talking, they weren't going to do anything? Get out of here. And I'm so frustrated with some of the viewers, with some of these male executives that do podcasts and radio shows that are simply dismissing it as Brit was just talking trash. Who talks trash that way? I've never seen a person talk trash by saying, I got a P word in my purse, while arguing with another person, unless they were threatening to use that. Especially in the black community, we don't play like that. We don't play like that at all. And it's very disheartening to see that this black woman who has, like I said, given her all, bad and good, to this network, has put millions of dollars in their pockets, has shown up, showed out, giving y'all the ratings, and when needed, y'all turned y'all back on her for somebody that had only been on the show for 5 minutes. And I wholeheartedly believe that they really weren't so disgusted with what Kenya did. I think that it was a liability situation. And hey, if we can pay Brit like a fifth of what we pay Kenya, let's keep her, see what she can bring, and sit Kenya out for the season, because then we'll save money. But see, you can't win when you play dirty, because siding with Brit has made y'all look like complete fools, complete idiots. Y'all look incompetent and everything else under the sun. And to make matters worse, on this week's episode, season 16, episode 7, I caught Brit once again talking about having a weapon on her. Now, let me set the scene. It was already stated earlier in this episode that Brit, Kelli, and Cynthia would be sharing a room together, because they were in a room with, like, I think maybe 6 beds. They were in the attic, right? Anybody that has stayed in Airbnbs as much as I have knows how this situation works, right? So if you have multiple people in one room, you're not putting a lock on a door because people have to get in and out. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind for the context of this conversation that Brit has with Kelli. They're in their rooms. They're taking out their luggage. Brit turns to Kelli and says, "I brought locks just in case anybody want to get funny." Kelli responds, "Well, I bought some sage and security." When I brought this to you guys' attention on this week's review, it was surprising to me how many of you were naive to the fact that she was talking about using a lock as a weapon. And by lock, I'm talking about a combination lock, like you used to use when you were in school and you had to lock your locker. That lock. A lot of you assumed that she was talking about she had a lock for her suitcase or a lock for the door. Once again, she's sharing a room with 2 other women. How are you putting a lock on a door that you share with other women? It doesn't even make sense, right? Production has to go in and out of the rooms while filming. Production leaves at a certain time at night. So if she was using a lock for a door, it would be after production wraps for the day and they're going to sleep, right? I didn't see anywhere in this room a bathroom. So they would have to leave out to go to the bathroom. So say, for instance, somebody got to go to the bathroom at night. They got to unlock the door, do whatever. It just doesn't make sense, y'all. It doesn't make sense. And then if you go back to the episode, you saw Kelli with a towel wrapped around her going into a bathroom area that was either adjacent to this attic area or off to the side, right? So that theory does not make sense. The other theory that she was talking about a lock for her luggage, why would you even bring that up? That I got a lock just in case anybody want to get funny. Who on this cast is stealing from Brit? I'll wait. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to be smarter than this. Who on this cast is going to steal her things or tamper with her things? This is not BGC. This is not baddies. These are 40-something-year-old women. They're not touching other people's belongings. They don't do that on Housewives, first of all, because they don't want nobody touching their stuff. Everybody on this show got money. Ain't nobody thinking about Brit and her stuff. So that doesn't make sense. If you are from where I'm from, if you grew up in inner city areas, hood areas, or whatever, You know that when a person say they got a lock on them in case anybody want to get funny, that means they have a lock on them in case it's time to fight and they can grab a lock and clock somebody upside the head. I don't know what high schools y'all went to, but that's how people got down at my high schools where I grew up. Hell, my little cousin, who is maybe about 12, 13, 14 years younger than me, got expelled from her high school for fighting with a lock, hitting the girl upside the head with a lock. And she younger than me. So it's surprising that a lot of y'all don't know about this. Why else would Kelli respond with saying, I got Sage and security, meaning for protection? And y'all know I had to go back and do some research because if I'm going to talk about something, I got to come with receipts. Going back and watching the episode, I noticed that all of the doors in the house were black, as shown above in this picture. When Portia took the girls upstairs to the attic to show them that room, if you notice, there is no door on the attic room because it's an attic room. Most attics don't have doors. All you see is this wooden frame. So you walk into the room and then you turn to your left, and that is where all of the beds are. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the side of one of the beds. There is the comforter on the bed that Kelli had taken for her own during the trip. And this is the full view of the lodging area in the attic. And this is a view of them leaving out of the attic room, so you can see that there is no door to be found. So there is no way she could have been talking about having a lock for a door that is not there. Also, I want to point out that considering the fact that they had to take a flight to get to Nashville, she could not carry her pow pow that she already stated she carries with her everywhere she goes. The only type of weapon that you would be able to take on a plane that wouldn't get confiscated is a combination lock. So once again, blatantly, it is obvious that she is once again talking about using a weapon on someone. Kenya ain't here no more. Kenya's not even around anymore. At this point, she got beef with Angela. And I guess she was anticipating maybe having beef with someone else. So you're just a violent person, period. You a scary hoe at that because you always got to go towards a weapon for protection. But the writing is on the wall. This is just yet another thing that exposes Brit for who she is and her true intentions. And I know when I said in my video that Kenya has a great case if she chooses to sue. And I saw some of you in the comment section saying she can't sue nobody. I don't know what planet y'all living on. Yes, her response to some may have been uncouth and maybe this, that, and the third, but she didn't threaten anybody with bodily physical harm. She was at her job, at her workplace, and was threatened by a coworker, and her bosses did nothing about it. Nothing about it. Bravo would be remiss to try to fire her or anything. Because if they tried to take it that route and tried to fire her after this, then that's a whole nother lawsuit right there. Wrongful termination, because y'all was in the wrong. Then they got her on camera once again talking about she got a lock on her. It's already been proven in interviews that she does have a weapon that she carries with her nonstop. You now have Kelli in interviews saying that she's seen her with the weapon. She could sue the pants off of Bravo and get a nice lump sum. This isn't a case like with Nene at all. We have proven factual information and receipts. So Bravo better get it together real quick. And Kenya was very smart with how she edited and worded everything that she said in her video. She didn't come after the network. She wasn't talking slick or anything. She just posed questions and stated facts. But I've seen all I need to see from Brit Edie. Y'all have y'all opinions. I have mine. And I've wiped my hands of the broad. I don't want to see her on my screen no more. She is a cancer to the Atlanta Housewives. And she's literally on the wrong show. She literally needs to be over there on the Zeus Network. Because I don't know what show she thinks that she's on. But she's doing too much. Even her own husband repeatedly, every episode we see him in, tell her she's doing too much. But I'm not here to persuade you. I'm just here to show you all the receipts, give you the facts, and I'm leaving it up to y'all to make your own opinions on the situation. But Brit ain't no good. She literally isn't. And I am still disappointed in Kelli for riding so hard for her in the beginning and trying to protect her at her own detriment, which to me was stupid. It wasn't like y'all been besties for years. Once again, y'all didn't even really know each other, which is crazy to me. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.